Hi everyone, it's Don once again with another construction update video for you. This is number 130. My videos are based on fact. They're not based on wishful thinking or conjecture. I do my homework, I do my research, and I bring that information to you. So, I am sitting out here at the end of the Southern Oaks Bridge. It's nearly time to open. Don't know when it's going to open yet, but I'll show you what it looks like as we go over it today. We'll also take a look at the area between Sawgrass Grove and Eastport and how these roads are going to affect it. Bexley Trail is already cleaned up and lined and striped and ready to go. So hopefully any day soon now. Some of the other things I'll show you in this video include the intersection of 466A and Powell Road and all the work that's going on there. I'll also take you around a bunch of other places here in the villages. One thing I did want to talk about before we jump into the video though is, as many of you know, last year I was elected as a county commissioner here in Sumter County. And one of the many aspects of that job is looking at and reviewing and approving the budget for the upcoming year. I'm not here to talk about the budget, I just wanted to share with you some information that the clerk of courts shared with us during our briefing for her budget. Two things. One, are you traveling in the next year? Well, if you don't have your passport, you should apply for it now. Normally a passport would take 3 to 4 weeks to get, and an expedited passport about a week, week and a half. Not right now. The federal government is really slow these days, and a new passport application is taking between 10 and 12 weeks, according to the clerk of courts. This has nothing to do with our local government. This is all based on the federal government's slow processing. So, if you're going to be traveling anytime in the near future, and you don't have your passport, go in, get your application in right away. Don't expect to get it quick. Even if you choose to expedite your passport, that's still taking 3 to 4 weeks. Not a pretty picture. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about that she brought up to us was property fraud. And she had this little handout right here on property fraud. What is property fraud? We've heard about people stealing your title to your home. There is nothing that's going to prevent that kind of fraud, but you can at least get an early warning if something is happening. If you go to the Clerk of Court's website, sumterclerk.com, or you go to Property Fraud Alert, you can apply to have a free notification sent to you anytime something changes in your county records that affects your property. It's free, it's being paid for by the state, it's not being paid for by the county. I'm pushing this because I think it's important. We all worked hard for our homes. The last thing we'd like is for anybody to try and steal that home from us. According to the Clerk of Courts, we haven't had an issue with it yet here in Sumter County, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. So protect yourself and go to propertyfraudalert.com or sumtercourts.com and apply for this free service provided by the state. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started with our video. I'm Don, and let's get going. Our first stop is the very busy intersection of County Road 466A and Powell Road with all the construction going on there. Farthest along is the new Arby's going in by the dollar store. There's actually 2 merchants going in here. No idea what's going into the second store. The guys working didn't know either. For now, it's just a shell, but in a few weeks they'll be working heavily on the interior. While the drone is turning around, I just wanted to tell you that next Thursday, July 27th at 1 o'clock at Darlin's Sweet Shop, I'm going to be holding another meet and greet ice cream social. You're all invited to attend. The first 25 people there will get a free scoop of ice cream on me. I do these ice cream socials to help raise money to support the firefighters' Thanksgiving dinner that my foundation, Gold Wingnut Foundation, puts on. I hope to see you there. On the right is the dollar store, and the road you see at the top of the screen is County Road 466A. As I come around and rise up, you'll see across the way Walgreens and the Sumter County office building with the public library in it. And across the street from Walgreens, that's where they're building the first CVS. There's another one going in at Magnolia Plaza. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. As we rotate to the right, this is where Home Depot is going. You can see they're busy clearing the lot there. When either of these stores is going to open up is anybody's guess at this point. All we know is construction has started, so it's definitely going to happen now. While none of this construction going on in this area is being done by the village's developer, it's definitely a result of the continued growth of the villages. As we rotate around, we see where Panda Express is being built, or planning to be built. They're apparently having some permitting and zoning issues with the city of Wildwood. Even more interesting is the corner across the street. They're building another Wawa there. This is the second one in Wildwood, and they're less than 3 miles apart. The other one is at the intersection of 301 and State Route 44. For me, I don't get the hype. It's just another convenience store and gas station. Let's face it, we're not as young as we once were. Climbing those old-fashioned attic stairs to get the Christmas decorations down or to stow those family treasures is just too dangerous. Magic stairs is the safer alternative. Real steps with safety rails at a safer angle and safety rails in the attic provide the safest attic access available. Having troubles getting things to and from the attic? The Magic Attic Lift can be there to help. Designed by Village's resident Ron Berner, every Magic Stairs and Magic Attic Lift is custom built in their Ocala, Florida factory and installed by their technicians. Why take chances? For less than the cost of one emergency room visit, you can have Magic Stairs installed in your home. Magic Stairs, the safer, more convenient alternative. We're starting out this Then and Now segment at the south end of the Village of Newell. We're actually over Lake Denham, but I wanted to show you this section right here. You see this big orange mound on the left? That was a huge mound of clay. They've stripped it away, leveled it out, and made room for more houses and the golf course. Why did they do that? Obviously, that clay has some great value in controlling water flow during and after construction of these areas. There also used to be a cell phone tower in that location. That's been moved. I'll show you that in just a few minutes. Before Newell, most of this area was a big spray field for wastewater. That's all been taken out, except for one part of it. We'll get to that in just a minute. And now they've converted that land into, obviously, residential. They also kept all of the existing wetlands and created a bunch of new retention ponds, which added more habitat for some of the animals. All of this new water in this area is going to attract a lot of animals out of the wetlands areas off to the east. Don't be surprised if you have visitors if you live in one of these homes.
Hi fellow villagers, it's Steve from Gold Shield Cart Alarms. Unfortunately, golf cart thefts are a growing concern here in the villages. I offer an affordable solution. Our golf cart alarms are easy to operate, maintenance free, and are an effective deterrent. Call me or visit our website. Protect your investment. Gold Shield Cart Alarms.
This big rectangular retention pond is a part of the old spray fields. The villages cleaned it up and used it as part of the retention pond system here in the villages. It didn't make sense to fill it in just to put in a new retention pond to meet the Florida state requirements for water runoff. Most of the homes in Newell are sold and now occupied. What a huge change in just less than 2 years. And now we're coming up on the Homestead Telescope Park. I've already shared with you in a previous video my thoughts on the folly of this design. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of changes that could be made to make it any better. We'll continue on and we'll fly over the Homestead Recreation Center. It's a very pretty recreation center inside, but not overdone. Can you say watermelon? Let's skip that one. Now we're looking at the south end of the village of Citrus Grove. Off in the distance, you can see the Citrus Grove Pool and Postal Station. Going across the top of the screen is the Southern Oaks Golf Course. Now on the left, it was still about a month and a half from being open, and on the right, the Southern Oaks Golf Course is now open. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but with my golf game, I'm not missing much. We'll turn around now and head back towards the Village of Newell. Coming into view is the golf course maintenance facility, and we'll rotate around a little bit more. Let's stop right here for just a second and talk about this. This is the Citrus Grove Electrical Substation. What do we know about it? Well, Progress Energy bought it in March of 2009, and they actually built the pad for this electrical substation in early 2020. The developer had no say on this. The developer gets no input on this, but the developer does have to give input on the electrical needs. The power companies basically have total control over everything, and there's nothing anybody or any local government, the county, or the developer can do about it. My sympathy goes out to these homeowners. This substation is a monstrosity, but this is one of the pitfalls of privately owned property. You don't get a say in what somebody else does with their property. Again, there's nobody that can do anything about this but the power company. Let's continue our trip back into the Village of Newell. At the top of the screens, you can see this dense wooded wetlands area that's part of the Chitty Chatty Swamp and the Lake Denham wetlands area. Tremendous amount of wildlife back in there. A lot of it's coming out. Unfortunately, we're seeing problems with boars and coyotes, and who knows what else is going to come out of there in the years to come. If you're having wildlife problems, the people to contact is the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Their website is myfwc.com, and they have several phone numbers you can call from there. I hope you've enjoyed this Then and Now look at the Village of Newell. Watch for another Then and Now segment in upcoming videos. Next up, we're going to go up north to Spanish Springs and take a look at where Blondie's is being worked on in front of the Performing Arts Center. We'll take a quick look around Spanish Springs. Here's a statue of Harold Schwartz and a look at some of the people enjoying the music that's already started. It's the middle of summer, so it's not very crowded. Depending on who's playing at the square, it's easy to find a seat or not. Here's the construction going on out in front of the Sharon. Not a lot to see yet. It'll be a couple more weeks before we really see a lot of progress here. Let's drop back down south to where 466A and Buena Vista meet and see the work going on there. This is heading north on Buena Vista and turning west onto 466A. The county is widening this intersection. Well, actually, they're not widening the intersection. They're widening the turn lanes. They're adding an additional turn lane to turn left onto Buena Vista Boulevard. Should take a few months to do, and it should help with traffic here. Next up, we're going to go south of the village of McClure and look at the construction going on there. It's not the villages, it's somebody else building this. This is the entrance to the construction area just off of Marsh Bend Trail. It appears that they're building a bunch of apartments here. If you remember about 2 years ago, this property was up for sale. I think they wanted like $6 million, and they stooped to a pretty low stunt. They put a gazebo out there, you'll see it in just a second, and they started playing music very loud at night in an effort to pressure the villages into buying this land from them. It didn't work, but still, pretty crappy tactic. At the top of the screen is the Coleman Federal Prison, and we'll rotate to our left, and you'll get a look at Well Point and the work going on there, as well as the county's work to expand Marsh Bend Trail to 4 lanes from Reagan Road down to McNeil Drive. At the end of this video, following the credits, you'll find a short segment on Lilly and her new litter of pups, so be sure to stick around and watch it. Next, we'll head to the north end of Richmond, where 2 sections of housing are scheduled to be built. This is the area just to the east of the north entrance going into the village of Richmond. Yes, that's a black golf cart. I passed that golf cart on the way to where I parked at the Buena Vista and Megison Road intersection, coming through the grass on the east side of Megison Road. I guess she was looking for a shortcut because she ended up going south on the multimodal trail on the west side of Megison Road. This area is scheduled to have 2 sets of homes going in here. Appears to be courtyard villas and either designer or veranda homes. I've had several people ask, and I tell you honestly, I have no idea when they're actually going to start work building homes in this area. I'm sure they'll be in great demand though because of its proximity to Brownwood. That's the north end of Richmond at the top of the screen, and at the very top you can see the Brownwood Hotel and Medical Facility. Let's head to the east a little bit to Lake Deaton Plaza, where we can see Ethan Allen and the Wells Fargo Bank are both open. So here's the Wells Fargo Bank that was under construction all spring and part of the summer. This is the 4th banking facility in this area. It looks like we're going to have another Bankers Row here at Lake Deaton Plaza, just like we have at 466 and 466A. I don't understand the need for all the banks, but I guess there is, or else they wouldn't be here. Ethan Allen opened up last week. This furniture store is actually called a design studio because of its smaller size. They have a lot of nice furniture in here. I just hope my wife doesn't walk in. I really can't afford to refurnish the house again. I don't believe you'll be able to pick up any furniture or furnishings here at this store. I believe it's just a place to do your design work and order, and these are just samples of some of the furniture that's available. Let's drop in now to the Middleton area. We've got two different routes we're going to fly in this segment. Here we're at the commercial areas in Middleton. As you can see, the buildings are coming along quite nicely. We'll get back to this little building here in just a few minutes. But all the downtown shopping area is all two-story, so is it all commercial on the ground floor and office on the upper floor? Who knows? We'll see when it happens. All we know right now is that we're still many months away from any of this opening up. They haven't even paved the streets. They've got a lot of work to do. And contrary to what some believe, there is no sign of a movie theater going in here. The slanted roof facility just to the right of the Middleton M is an entertainment venue, my sources are telling me. It's not going to be like a regular town square that we're used to here in the villages, but they are going to have some live entertainment on occasion. The schedule, though, is still being firmed up. Here's another look at the courtyard. The academic building is on the right, the gymnasium and performing arts center is on the left, and in the far back is the cafeteria. We'll circle around a little bit and we'll get a better look at the performing arts center. Based on the video footage that the Villages has been putting out, this is really going to be a gorgeous facility, both this school and the two other schools in this area. I'll rotate around now and head down towards the K-8 school.
Hi, I'm Jeff Monash with Village Air Filters. Are you tired of wasting money on throwaway paper air filters? I can save you money with my lifetime permanent washable air filters. Just buy it once and never buy another air filter again. Rinse it out and then just slide it right back in. My filters are custom made in the US and they have a lifetime warranty. Give me a call at 352-388-1230 or visit my website at villageairfilters.com.
This is the K-8 school. From the exterior, it looks a little more put together than the high school, but I'm sure there's a few things going on in there also that still need to be done. This is the Early Learning Center, and they've got a nice courtyard. Still not surfaced yet with artificial grass or the rubberized surface that I'm expecting to see. We'll fly over to this tower. I'm still not sure what they're going to do to decorate this, but I'm sure it's going to be some sort of sign for Middleton. As we back up and we'll take a look at that small building again. It looks like it's got a drive-through, so it's either going to be a bank or probably like a coffee shop, a Starbucks type store, because the area just to the front of it and along the road, according to the plans, is supposed to be like an eating area or a patio pavilion area. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. This is the south end of the high school complex. You can see their practice fields are greening up. Of course, their ball fields and football fields are all artificial turf, so that's going to be very nice for them. As we rotate around, we come to this area. This area on the north side of this road is the church at the Springs. It's a new church that's going to be built there. We'll watch it and see how it comes out of the ground. This is going to be more residential here, and as far as you can see at the top of the screen, that's the Villages in years to come. I'll rotate around again, and we can see the Shallow Creek Country Club and Golf Course. We'll take a closer look at that in just a minute. We're heading north once again, and the building you see here is a well and storage facility. What's being built here is the Shallow Creek Country Club. As you can see, the walls are already starting to go up. It'll still be a few months, but it's definitely underway. You can see that the fairways have already been sprigged and the greens are starting to come in a little bit. Some of the traps have been filled. No word has been put out yet on when this will open, but looking at it, comparing it to how Southern Oaks went, I'm going to say sometime in the spring we'll see this open up. Here's that wellhead and water storage facility again. As we head back, take a look at these retention ponds. The levels are definitely up. All the rain we've been getting for the last couple of weeks has definitely made a big improvement. I know the rest of the retention ponds throughout the villages are all getting full. We definitely needed this rain. So right after the last video came out, I took a trip to the Villages Grown and took one of their tours. I went to the box office and got a ticket. You can do it too. These are some of the plants that just germinated, and this is the germinating room. They keep it at 80 degrees, 100% humidity, pitch black, and in 2 days everything starts to germinate. This is all lettuce that you see here. Apparently they produce about 50,000 heads of lettuce a week. That's a tremendous amount of lettuce. And you can see the blank areas, that's where they've already harvested. These hydroponic greenhouses are about 9 acres, but they produce the equivalent of about 90 acres. And the lettuce grows a lot faster here. Instead of 9 weeks, it grows in about 5 weeks. So if all they grew was lettuce, this would be about 150 acres equivalent. This is where all the fresh air comes in, and it passes through these grates here. These are basically giant swamp coolers to cool the air. So the vegetables grown here go to Publix, Winn-Dixie, and some of the local restaurants. This area is part of the tomato growing area. This was all just harvested and the replanting. This is what the younger plants look like. This is all computer-controlled system. Water, air temperature, sunlight, and nutrient content of the water are all computer-controlled by one massive system.
So you're looking for a Murphy bed. Well, we offer Murphy beds, yes, but we offer something very unique. We offer quality, aesthetics that enhance your home, enhance your lifestyle. We've got all wood veneers, period. Dovetail construction on the drawers, full extension slides on the drawers. Nobody will beat our quality, nobody will beat our service, but again, it's all about lifestyle and aesthetics for your beautiful home. Murphy Office.
They also have beehives in all the greenhouses to naturally pollinate the plant. As you can see, there's tons of tomatoes on here. In fact, they produce about 3,600 pounds of tomatoes each week, and these plants will produce fruit for about a year. This is the herbs or herbs, however you want to pronounce it. They grow basil, dill, chives, and a couple of other herbs here. They produce about 900 pounds of herbs every week. This is chives. They say they can get about 3 complete harvests out of each of these plants before they have to be replanted. They employ about 110 people here, each working 10-hour shifts, 7 days a week. So it's a very big and very busy operation. From what I've seen in some of the drawings, it looks like they're going to expand this facility multiple times over. About 9,000 pounds of herbs are produced here each week. These are microgreens. I guess the first germination of leaves are supposed to be very nutritious. I don't know. I don't really understand it. But they produce about 1,000 pounds of microgreens here each week. So if you get a chance, take a quick trip and do one of these tours of the Villages Grown. It was very interesting. Now let's head on over to Magnolia Plaza, where 7-Eleven and another CVS is also being built. So the rumor that's been out on the street for the last couple of weeks, and the word I got from a very reliable source, is on the 27th, 7-Eleven is going to open. So when you're done going to 7-Eleven, be sure you come on over to Sawgrass Grove, to Darlin's Sweet Shop, for the ice cream social and meet and greet, where I'm giving away 25 free scoops of ice cream. You're going to love their ice cream. It's great, especially the Zanzibar chocolate. This is a location for another CVS. I don't know what the holdup is. Nobody seems to know. CVS is just dragging their feet. But it's still scheduled to come. Go look at the map for Magnolia Plaza. You'll see the outline and shape of the building on the map these days. In this next segment, we're going to take a look at Eastport, Sawgrass Grove, and the area north of Eastport. It's a bunch of flights all put together, but they're all related, so let's get going. So as you can see, the bridge is done. The roads are done. All we're really waiting on right now is for Jennifer Parr to pull the string and open up these roads. When it's going to happen, I don't know. I can tell you this, though, the golf cart paths are not going to open. A, there's nothing to go to. B, as you can see in this video, the paths haven't been cleaned and they're not ready to go. The problem is farther south is Eastport, and in that area, there's a lot of construction going on, and these cart paths are going to have to cross through where this construction traffic is going. It doesn't make sense to open it up. It's not safe. There's nothing to go to. Does that mean nobody's going to go there in a golf cart? Of course not. We're going to have people that just have to do it. Please, folks, don't. Just wait until it actually opens up and there's something to actually go to. Coming up is the traffic circle where Bexley Trail and Corbin Trail meet. And in the corner in the upper right is the Farragut softball fields. Eastport is to our right also. The multimodal path right here is the area of biggest concern. You can see it crosses under Bexley Trail, and then it has to cross over one of the entrances to Eastport, where the construction traffic is going. At this intersection is Central Parkway. We're back up at the bridge now, and this time we're heading north instead of south. This is McNeil Drive. McNeil Drive is going to be 2 lanes until it gets down to the traffic circle there at the bridge with Bexley Trail. Look carefully and you can see the outline for the Saint-Tropez Recreation Center parking lot, and these are part of the golf maintenance facilities for the executive and pitch and putt course that are being built behind Saint-Tropez. Here's some of the retention ponds that are slowly being filled, and if you look carefully you can see the roadbed starting to be put in for the Corbin Trail extension. The circular forms on the ground are the putting greens for the golf course. The earthworks that you're seeing is utility lines going in. The white lines you see along McNeil Drive are the curbs for the roadway, so we're not very far off from seeing the roadway actually being put in for McNeil Drive. I'm going to drop down close to the ground, and what you'll see on the ground is the utility stub-ups for each of the lots in this area. Next comes the roads. Once the roads are in, then they can start home construction. We're still a couple of months off, though, from that probably. Here's more utility work going on. You can see the work for the traffic circle at McNeil and Marsh Bend Trail is getting ready to go in. The county is going all the way down to this traffic circle, and then the work stops on the widening of Marsh Bend Trail for now. The county is still waiting on getting some matching grant funds to build the rest of the roadway from this intersection all the way down to Southern Parkway. More residential properties will be going in this area, but also the Woodlands Championship Golf Course is going in here. I don't remember if this is 18 or 27 holes, but it is a championship golf course. So right now we're flying over the village of Oak Hollow. To the right is Marsh Bend Trail and the Coleman Federal Penitentiary. To the south it will be Eastport. They're laying in the water mains right now. The light blue ones are potable water, and the purple ones are reclaimed or recycled water used for irrigation. Coming up in the upper right is a cell tower. This is the cell tower that was relocated from the village of Newell when they cut down that huge mound of clay. Turning to the east now, we're flying into the village of LaGrange. The Woodlands Golf Course runs predominantly through LaGrange as well as Oak Hollow, but in LaGrange is where they're going to locate their country club for the Oak Hollow Golf Course. This is the location for that country club. It borders Corbin Trail as it heads south, just before turning to the east and joining up with Bexley Trail at the traffic circle. Now we're looking at the east end of Central Lake in Eastport. We'll take another view. This is where the Dragon Boat launching area is going to be as we fly over the island. And we'll turn back around. And we're going to see another interesting area that I haven't figured out yet. It's over in this corner. Now if you look at the seawall there, you see 2 different colors. You can tell basically where the water line is going to be. This is the structure right here. I'm not sure what this is. I'm still digging through all the information I have to figure out exactly what it's going to be. If you didn't catch it in the last shot, they've got the bridge ready to go between the mainland and the island in Eastport. You can see it here sitting on the ground with the cranes getting ready to lift it into place. It's been there about a week. I'm hoping to catch it while they're putting it in place, but that's really hit or miss. It's going to be pure luck if I get out there that day. As we fly to the west over Central Lake, you can see now that the west end of the lake is being filled. They didn't breach this wall, which I'm surprised, but they are filling it. It's going to take a few days to fill, though. There's a lot of water going in here. Let's start back at Central Parkway again, and this time we're going to fly north along Bexley Trail. As you can see, there's not much going on to the right. Everything is focused to the left. But the road itself is definitely done. All the landscaping is pretty much in. Again, the golf cart paths aren't exactly ready for use. But again, there's no real reason to have them open because there's nothing to go to in the Middleton area yet. We're coming up on McNeil Drive here at this traffic circle. And we're going to go back over the Southern Oaks Bridge. I probably won't be able to do this too much longer. Once traffic gets on the road, I can't fly over it. But for now, there's no traffic. We're safe. We're going to fly all the way back down to Sawgrass Grove. If you're new to the Villages and building a home here and you need somebody to watch your home and take pictures and monitor things for you while it's being built, please go to my website, goldwingnut.com, and check out the services I offer for this. So last week, Sawgrass Grove celebrated its 1-year anniversary of being open. It took a little while to get it open. They had some issues, but it's finally open and it seems to be a pretty big success. And of course, after they opened, they had a few parking problems, but as you can see, they've already fixed that issue also. It's a great place to go. It's a lot smaller than a regular town square, but there's lots of seating here and some fairly good entertainment. Not all of it's to my liking, but hey, everybody's got their preferences. It's a unique structure, and the shade is very nice, especially this time of year here in Florida. And don't forget, Thursday the 27th of July, 1 p.m., Darlin's Sweet Shop, right here at Sawgrass Grove in the Sawgrass Market. We're having an ice cream social to benefit the firefighters' Thanksgiving dinner, and I'm giving away 25 free scoops of ice cream, so please come and join us. Of course, nothing is perfect. There's been a few complaints about the volume of the music here at Sawgrass Grove. If you bought near here, you should expect that there's going to be loud music. Come on, folks. Reality check here. Anyway, it's a gorgeous place, and I hope everybody really enjoys it. I know I do. Down at the intersection of Central Parkway and Marsh Bend Trail is this tent. Last time I didn't know what it is. It's the temporary fire station. You can see their logo here for the Village's Public Safety Department. They're building a new fire station right at this same location. So this wraps up the video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you can know when I post a new video. Also, please support my sponsors and don't forget about the short segment at the end of this video of Lilly and her new litter of pups. I'm Don Wiley, and thanks for watching.